morning and welcome to Carnival Radio Breakfast Show, the newspaper review segment. I am Elizabeth Tessie Okemukoko. Today's morning to help you keep abreast with the latest happening around the country and around you as you prepare to start the day. We bring you newspaper headlines from the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, the Daily Post newspaper, the Nation newspaper as well. So we have newspaper headlines from the Punch newspaper such as "I did my best as president, Jonathan counters Atiku." Also, over 4,600 Nigerian doctors relocate to UK in 3 years, report. Then from the Vanguard newspaper, Senator Ume clarifies Obi's visit to Amechi, explains why Atiku should step down. Okay, from the Nation newspaper, we also have that Ogun East stakeholders lock out Daniel at Abiodun's senatorial endorsement meeting. And from the Daily Post newspaper, JAMB releases Monday UTME results. Now we go into the news stories in details. Just sit back, relax while we keep you informed. Former President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan has defended his administration, adding that he did his best while in office. His reply follows the criticism of his administration by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar during an interview with newsmen. Atiku, a presidential aspirant on the platform of the African Democratic Congress, had during the interview described Jonathan as inexperienced, stating that he made mistakes while he held sway. In an interview, Atiku played down the prominence of Kwakwanso and Tambula in the north, limited Obi's support based on the southeast and Amechi's strength to the south-south. He also expressed disappointment in President Bola Tinubu's administration and labeled ex-President Jonathan as inexperienced. This news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. "I did my best as president," Jonathan counters Atiku. In a similar news on politics from the Vanguard newspaper, Senator Victor Ume, representing Anambra Central at the National Assembly, has clarified that the recent meeting between former Labour Party president candidates Peter Obi and ex-Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi was a routine political consultation and not in negotiation for either aspirant to step down from the 2027 presidential race. Ume made the clarification in an interview on Monday, describing Obi's visit to Amechi as a commendable and necessary step for a consensus building process among opposition figures on the African Democratic Congress platform. The senator argued that the consultations unfolding among opposition aspirants reflected a natural and necessary political process, noting that multiple candidates vying for the same office must engage in sustained dialogue if they are to arrive at a unified position. This news was sourced from the Vanguard newspaper. Senator Ume clarifies Obi's visit to Amechi, explains why Atiku should step down. Another one here says Ogun East stakeholders lock out Daniel at Abiodun's senatorial endorsement meeting. Senator Gbenga Daniel started the battle yesterday to retain his Ogun East senatorial seat after stakeholders in the district picked Governor Dapo Abiodun as consensus All Progressive Congress APC candidate for the January 16th election. To the former Ogun State governor's discomfiture, he was shut out of the Adeola Otudola Hall, venue of the endorsement meeting in Ijebu-Ode. While the meeting was ongoing, Daniel and his supporters remained outside, inside the bus that brought them. The former governor addressed his supporters, saying what happened was self-endorsement by Governor Abiodun, which he rejected as null and void. He evoked the spirit of Ijebu, singing a song which the supporters chorused in defense. But supporters of the governor said Daniel was asked to come into the venue, but he declined, insisting that his supporters should be allowed to go in with him into the hall. This news was sourced from the Nation newspaper. Ogun East stakeholders lock out Daniel at Abiodun's senatorial endorsement meeting. Another one here. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has released the results of candidates who wrote the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) on Monday, yesterday. This is disclosed in a statement by JAMB spokesperson Fabian Benjamin today, Tuesday. The statement directed affected candidates of the board standard result checking channels. According to the statement, candidates can now assess their scores by sending UTME results in capital letter to 55015 or 66019 via SMS using the phone number with which they registered for the examination. This is the latest series of daily result announcement by JAMB that JAMB has been making since the 2026 UTME commenced on Thursday, April 16th. This news was sourced from the Daily Post newspaper. JAMB releases Monday's UTME results. Lastly, we take this one from the Punch newspaper. Nigerians' already fragile healthcare system is facing renewed strain as no fewer than 4,691 doctors have relocated to the United Kingdom since President Bola Tinubu assumed office on May 29, 2023. This is according to fresh data from the General Medical Council. The UK GMC is a public official register detailing the number of practicing doctors in the UK alongside other details such as their area of specialty, country of training, amongst others. The mass migration represents not just a human source crisis but a significant economic loss, with the federal government estimating that it cost about $21,000 to train a single doctor. Nigeria has effectively lost at least $98.5 million in training investment within less than 2 years. This news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. Over 4,600 Nigerian doctors relocate to UK in 3 years, according to reports. And this is where we'll call it a wrap for newspaper review segment of Carnival Breakfast Show this morning. Thank you very much for tuning in and for staying tuned. Do not forget that you can always stay informed any time of the day by checking out our website for timely updates at www.carnivalmedia.ng. Once again, I am Elizabeth Tessie Okemukoko. Do have a beautiful Tuesday.